Hey folks, it's Ardwulf. Welcome. We have a rather special unveiling today here, courtesy of Columbia Games, and it's something that's actually come up on the channel before. It's been mentioned by some viewers that they're not comfortable with the loose leaf format that Columbia Games has long adopted for the Harn world. Now, this has been the case ever since the first few products after the original Harn boxed set, but it used to be that you got a book and then you could choose to cut the book apart if you wanted or not into its individual articles and then keep those organized in a loose leaf way. Since then, of course, the line has become focused on those loose leaf articles, which you can buy individually from Columbia Games directly off of their web store or through, say, Drive-Thru-RPG, and then print them yourself, which is a solution that, given the way that it's organized, I am extremely comfortable with. However, that said, there are certainly those who would like physical volumes again, and certainly physical volumes look better on a shelf than binders, even fancified binders like I've made for my Harn stuff. So that time has come. This is the Kingdom of Kaldor. It is a hardcover volume, and the first in a series of Kickstarters, the first of which for the Kingdom of Kaldor is up now. Now, this is a proof copy, right? This isn't like the final edition, which I've spotted some errors immediately that I'll mention to Columbia Games when I send them the email on this, but I'm pretty sure these things will be fixed. So if, for example, it says Kingdom of Kanday on the back, and Kanday is the highlighted kingdom. But like I said, this is a proof copy. This is just, this is being passed around to the various people with whom Columbia Games works, including myself, and I'm happy that they asked me to take a look at this. So we're going to have a flip through. Now, I've already done a flip through video of the Kingdom of Kaldor, so check that video out. We're not going to go through the article page by page like we did there. I will put, if I can manage the YouTube interface, I will put a little note in the upper right-hand corner that you can click on to go to that video. And in the video notes, there will be a link to the Kickstarter for this, which will be up shortly. But let's take a look. So it's about a half an inch, I would say, a hardcover volume, very thick cover. It's a little hard to tell this, and I'm not sure if it'll come across on the video or not, but the binding is sewn rather than glued, which will make an enormous difference in terms of durability. And in this see, I'm even doing it. In the book, we have the entire Kaldor Kingdom article. Now, the paper quality here is a somewhat glossy paper. It is extremely thick paper. It's full color, as you can imagine. Our art is going to be probably by a variety of artists. There's no title page, which I kind of feel there should be. It's probably going to be, well, it's article by article, though. So, art in the Kaldor article is by Grant Douglas, Richard Luschek, Matt Rogner. So we're going to have the whole Kaldor article here, which is going to go through the individual fiefs in Kaldor and their the holders of those fiefs, whether they are nobles or constables or sheriffs or whatever. The art is for these characters is very evocative. And we've gone through the Kingdom article before here. Every page is rich with plot hooks. Here's Archie Bunker, Baron Archie Bunker. The art is so realistic that it lends itself to that. Now, we're not going to stop at the Kaldor article, which is like a 60-some page article, as I recall. Here's the settlement index. But here is Tashal. This is the capital city of Kaldor. So it's awesome that they've included this. The old Kingdom modules would include the article on the Kingdom itself, plus the articles on 5 or 6 different locations in that kingdom, not including the capital. It's great that the capital has been included. So Tashal here, which we haven't actually gone through, although I've done some Cities of Harn stuff. But this is a great article about the capitals of Kaldor. There's some really interesting features of the capital. We have, of course, these plans of various things in Caer Elend, which is the main royal citadel in Tashal. floor plans of that. Here's floor plans of an inn. Here's floor plans of what appears to be the College of Heralds building, the Enclave of the Holy Oak. Here's a temple, quite large and elaborate, actually, Temple of Peony. And I to be honest about it, as somebody who's taken a fair amount of classes in ancient history, these floor plans of these buildings in Harn have always actually resembled historical buildings rather than like fantasy buildings or modern buildings. Little sections of the city here. And the city maps, of course, are wonderful. In fact, I want to highlight that because I've never actually gone through that. Where is the city map of Tashal? May wonder if it's at the end. The Busted Nut Tavern. That is a fantastic tavern name, I must say. Here is an entire block of detailed floor plans, which include like some open air markets out in the square. Flipping quite a bit forward here. To get to the very end where we get to a little section on the Lair. There's also a significant a network of underground catacombs under Tashal, which has obvious use in a fantasy game. And then here is an excerpt from the Atlas Harnica map around Tashal, showing a lot of the outlying settlements and manors. These objects will be, I forget exactly what the key says. You could download the key. Here's the Tashal city map, which is again a wonderful city map, which again strongly resembles historical city maps rather than fantasy city maps or the kind of ridiculous fantasy maps that you would find in, for example, the Palladium Fantasy RPG. I forget what the difference is between the squares and the circles here, is what I'm trying to look up. I think it's manors versus fortified manors, I think. So basically what this is giving you, these maps, these Atlas Harnica maps, which can be bought individually in one-page increments for a couple dollars a piece. At some point, we should do a video on that. This shows you like all of the settlements down to the smallest. And then here's the tunnel system under Tashal. So check out the Kickstarter on this if you are interested in an amazing and really well done and well developed fantasy setting, fantasy kingdom books, and what looks like is going to be some very handsome set of hardcover volumes. So this is the first Kickstarter that we will be getting in this series. Columbia Games is a really small operation, so don't necessarily expect them to come back to back. But the first Kickstarter will be up shortly, so please do check that out. It will be linked in the video description. Also linked in the video description will be links to support Ardwulf's Lair, and please do like the video and give it a thumbs up if you have enjoyed watching. And I want to thank you for watching. I'd like to thank Columbia Games for arranging me to be in the chain letter that got their hands on a copy of this early. And thanks again for watching. Until next time, happy gaming.